All right, good evening, everyone. Are we all set? Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday, November 18th, 2021, 6 o'clock p.m. meeting of the Auburn Zoning Board of Appeals. I call the meeting to order. As a preliminary matter, I have a couple of administrative responsibilities to carry through first, so I will do that before we start. So we have a hybrid participation meeting, which means people can call in via the phone if they are not comfortable with attending the town hall in a public meeting, and then partially board is here. So allow me to read through my script. As a preliminary matter, my name is Robert Tatro. I'm the chair of the Auburn Zoning Board of Appeals. In an effort to reduce background noise, I'm going to ask that all of you please mute your phones at this time and only unmute if you want to speak. Also, if you have any electronic devices in the audience, if you could please put those down to a silent mode. Permit me to confirm that all the members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Vice Chair Michael Marin.
Present.
Mr. Chicolo.
Present.
Mr. Cussy.
Present.
Ms. Roach.
Present.
Thank you. Mr. Jones.
Here.
Thank you. Ms. Bush.
I'm here, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have all members either present in the town hall or they can hear me via the remote access. So town officials and employees participating, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Building Commissioner Kayla Moody.
Here.
DDIS Land Use Clerk Ginger Buto.
She's here.
Thank you. Okay, so good evening. This is the open meeting for the Auburn Zoning Board of Appeals on Thursday, November 18th, 2021, now called to order at 6 p.m. The meeting is being conducted both in person and remotely, as I've already stated, per Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020, and extended on June 16th, 2021. For this meeting, the Zoning Board of Appeals is convening either by person or remote participation of the public. For the public to join, if you are at home and you want to join by phone, please call 1-646-749-3112, and you will enter the access code 944-571-349. Or you can join via computer by logging on to the website gotomeeting.com, and in the upper right corner, you'll have a join prompt. It's 944-571-349. The remote access information has also been posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note this meeting is being recorded by the Auburn Cable Television. Accordingly, those members of the Zoning Board of Appeals, employees, and members of the public who participate, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and please take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the meeting. For meeting materials, all supporting materials that have been provided to members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Meeting business and ground rules. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate minutes of the meeting. I, Robert Tatro, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide comments, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name and address before speaking. If members wish to engage in discussion with any other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. After members have spoken, the chair will afford public comments as follows. The chair will first ask members of the public who wish to speak to identify the names and addresses only. Once the chair has a list of public commentators, I will call each by name and afford 3 minutes for any comments. Finally, each vote in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. If we have any technical difficulties, the chair suspends the meeting while attempts to resolve it are made, and that is to ensure that we keep accurate minutes, noting any disconnections and reconnections for the members. Okay, so we have, well, first let me start by this. Can I get a motion to open?
This conference will now be recorded.
Oh, that's okay. So do I have a motion to open the meeting?
Motion to open the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chicolo. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. So as a roll call vote, just for a matter of clarity, Vice Chair Marin, how do you vote?
I approve, but just for a point of clarification, Mr. Chairman, we're opening the zoning board meeting, not any particular hearing, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yep,
thank you, sir.
thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Chicolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote?
Approve.
Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Jones, how do you vote? Thank you. And Ms. Bush, how do you vote?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. So we actually have the first two applicants on the agenda have requested continuations of the 6 o'clock application for Faze Management Incorporated, requesting a special permit under section 3.2.2.2 and 4.3.5.1 of the Auburn zoning bylaw to build 12 townhouses on property located at 262 Central Street, Auburn, Mass, map 56, parcel 82. Please note, this meeting is still open as it was continued from the 10/21/21 meeting. It has not been closed as of yet. So do I have a motion to accept the applicant's request to continue to the December meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, as stated, to accept and extend.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. For purposes of a roll call vote, Mr. Maron, how do you vote, sir?
Approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote?
Approve.
Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
I would vote to approve, but I would want to add a condition.
Okay, so we can discuss that with the membership. What would the condition be, please?
That they renotice a butter. I don't think it's fair not to.
All right, let me check with that point of clarification. To you, Caleb, can we require that, or do we need to require it, please, sir?
It's nothing we could require by law. We could request that they re-notify abutters, but I don't know that it's going to be likely. The hearing's going to be continued till 6 p.m., same start time, third Thursday of the month. By law, we can't really condition that they re-notify abutters.
Okay. Ms. Roach, I'm not sure if you understood that, but according to Caleb Moody, we really don't have the authority to condition that right now because we haven't moved forward on the hearing yet.
Okay, then I vote to deny the motion.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. And I vote to approve. So with that being said, the 6 o'clock PM meeting, Faze Management requesting a special permit under 3222 and 4351 will officially be continued until the December meeting. At this time, that hearing from December 21 will remain open. If anybody has any public comments, concerns, or would like to review any of the documents associated with that, you can certainly contact the Department of Inspectional Services at the Town Hall. So to move on, we have the 6:05 PM applicant, Clara Agreda, requesting a variance under section 5.4 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for front setbacks on property located at 17 Rock Ave, Auburn, Mass, map 24, parcel 116. And the applicant has also requested a continuation to the December meeting. Do I have a motion on the floor regarding the applicant's request to continue to the December meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. Do we even need to do anything because we don't have an open hearing for this person?
Well, I think because it was on the agenda and it's been publicly posted, we have to agree to either approve or deny. I think we have to be able to.
Through the chair, if I may. So
Yeah, please.
the process would be for the board to take a vote to open the hearing, and then after that, take a vote to accept or deny the
Okay.
continuance.
Okay, so my first motion would be to have a motion to open the hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to open the hearing.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Again, a roll call vote. Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy?
Approve.
Ms. Roach?
Approve.
Thank you, and I also vote to approve. So again, this applicant has requested a continuance to the December meeting. And because it is, have been advertised, and abutters have been notified, the meeting has to be, the hearing has to be opened. Do I have a motion on the applicant's request?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to extend as requested.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chacolo. Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote?
Approve.
Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. So the 6 o'clock and the 6:05 have been continued to December meeting. The 6:05 applicant, Clara Agreda, requesting the variance under section 5.4 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for the front setbacks on property located at 17 Rock Ave, Auburn, Mass, map 24, parcel 116. That hearing will remain open. Again, if anybody has any comments, concerns, or issues with that particular application, you may contact the Department of Inspectional Services, and they will steer you in the right direction to determine what you need to have done. Okay, with that being said, we are now at, right on time. All right, so we are at 6:10 PM. I'm sorry, do I have a motion to, do we need a motion to close, really? Not really, right? No. So we're going to move on to our third hearing, and this is the 6:10 PM applicant, Buckley Home Improvement, requesting a special permit under section 9.3.12 of the Auburn zoning bylaw to build an in-law apartment on property located at 137 Bryn Mawr Ave, map 32, parcel 185. Do I have a motion to open the hearing?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to open the hearing.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote?
Approve.
Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. The hearing is now open. If the applicant is present, if you could please approach the microphones, give us your name and address, and give us an overview of what you'd like to accomplish, please.
Name is Leon Buckley. Address is 80 Rawson Street in Leicester, Mass. We propose to build an in-law apartment at 137 Bryn Mawr. Basically for the owner's relative to live in, kind of at the end of her life there, so she wants to be close to family.
I'm sorry, hold on 1 second, please.
That's the owner's son.
Hello?
I muted it.
Okay, so we had some pretty substantial interference in the background. So for the folks that are actually calling in remotely, whatever is in the background at your residence or your location is going to be picked up by these microphones and is going to be transmitted to our direction. So if you could just go ahead and mute until you are interested in speaking, and then we can have you turn it on, and that way we can continue the hearing, hopefully without interruption. And it's okay, we've had it happen before, it's kind of common, but we try to minimize it. So anyway, go ahead, sir, please.
Again, Leon Buckley with Buckley Home Improvement. I propose to build a one-car garage and in-law apartment at 137 Bryn Mawr. And it's for the owner's family member to live in. Stay close.
Okay. Do we have any abutters that are present this evening that would like to speak on this hearing? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. I'm going to move it over to the members of the board and allow them to ask you questions. Mr. Maron, I yield the floor to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for being here tonight.
Sure, no problem.
The plans that we have before us, I just wanted to confirm. So I'm drawing attention to the architectural drawings that speak directly to the proposed property showing the garage.
Right.
And then just behind that, I believe is the apartment that you're proposing, correct?
Correct. And that part on the left there with your left hand, that is the existing house?
That's existing?
Yeah, existing
Okay.
house there.
I did have an opportunity to view the property and got my bearings. So as the property sits now, all of that construction will be added on to as you're looking at it, to the right-hand side.
That's correct.
Of the property. Okay. And as I estimated, the square footage of the apartment specifically, that wouldn't include the square footage of the garage,
That's correct.
correct?
The garage is proposed to just be an unfinished garage.
Unfinished space, okay,
Yes.
very good. And then just a final question, if I may. I see one main point of egress on the diagram just to the rear of the existing home where the garage, so essentially to the far left of the garage, behind the jog. Is there a second means of egress directly out of the apartment that you're proposing?
The one that goes directly to the outside, and then one goes in through the garage.
Okay, so the second is in through the garage?
Correct.
Okay.
And that is all connected to the existing house as well.
Okay. We may come back to that second point of egress.
Okay.
Just to confirm the viability needing to that exit the apartment to the outside directly.
I mean, all the windows are egress windows as well, if that makes a difference to you guys.
May I comment on that? There is going to have to be another means of egress added. I know they have two in the code policy, code also says that they have to be as remote as realistically possible from each other. The issue is they're both in the same spot, so one of those windows is going to have to be changed to either Amanda or
Okay.
they have to be remote from each other. So in the garage, you have another way of getting out.
Okay. So we'll just,
Thank you.
yeah, we can go through that, but we'll just go ahead and, yeah, we'll go ahead and swap out one of the windows in the living room.
Yeah.
For just a regular 32 door.
So, Ms. Roach, I'm not sure if you heard that conversation, but Vice Chair Maron brought up an issue about the means of egress. One was discussed by the applicant to bring it, would be a means of egress through the garage door. It was a point of order through the chair to discuss the fact that Mr. Maron brought up that we may have questions regarding that, and for clarification purposes, Caleb explained that it would need to have two direct points of egress, and they were discussing that the applicant had stated that there was, all the windows were full-size windows that would be, utilized to be able to be egress windows. And the discussion has been that one of those windows will have to become what they refer to as a man door, or, a walk-through door. So I'm not really sure if you heard that because the microphone wasn't really that close.
Yes, I did hear. Thank you for the clarification, and obviously during the building permit process, that's something Caleb would individually work on with the applicant should they be approved.
Right, okay, great. I honestly, just because I saw that he had his mask on, and I wasn't really sure if it went through, so that's actually good to know. The microphones are doing their job, so. Mr. Maron, do you have any further questions?
Just one final question for the record, Mr. Chairman. So do you have just an estimate on where you're expecting the apartment to land, square footage?
I don't think I have that information on me here.
No worries. I mean, I did some quick calculations, but I essentially took the squared space from egress all the way back to the kitchen area and left and right, but excluding the garage, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I had just over 5. I just had not quite 5.5, I think 5:30 and change, I think. But thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have anything further.
I came up with 540 just to round it off,
Excellent.
you know.
Thank you, Mr. Cole, and I apologize if I stole some of your thunder with the egress.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, Mr. Chacolo, do you have any questions or concerns of the
None
applicant?
at this time. Mr. Maron covered what I was going to ask.
Thank you. Mr. Cussy?
No questions.
Thank you. Ms. Roach?
No questions to me.
Okay, thank you. I also, these gentlemen always vet and ladies always vet the applicants pretty well, so I don't have any questions either. Do you have anything else you'd like to state to the board before I
I did
close?
want to just respond to your question about the square footage is what I have here on the plot plan. I don't know if you guys have this, but 551. 551 is a good estimate for square footage on the
Thank you very
apartment.
much, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions or concerns? I'll just do one more. There's no other abutters that are concerned or have any questions regarding this hearing? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. Oh, go ahead. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, this is Pete Jones.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Mr. Jones.
So I did a little math based on the drawing here, and it looks like the living space is maybe 672 square feet. Does that sound like it might be right?
These, we're getting in the 540 range, right?
Yes.
Okay.
About 551.
They're both under 7.
I just went, okay, we're all under 700, so I guess that's what really matters here.
Right, I agree.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So let me see here. So, Mr. Jones, you know what, while we're at it, Ms. Bush, do you have any questions or concerns of the applicant?
I don't have any questions.
Thank you very much. Okay, so do I have a motion to close the public portion of the hearing?
Mr. Chairman, a motion to close.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Okay, as a roll call vote, Mr. Maron,
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo,
Proof.
Mr. Cussy, Ms. Roach,
I approve.
and I approve. Do we have any discussion between the board members? Okay, so hearing none, seeing none. Do I have a motion on the 6:10 PM applicant Buckley Home Improvement requesting a special permit under section 9312 of the Auburn zoning bylaw to build an in-law apartment on property located at 137 Bryn Mawr Ave, Auburn, Mass., map 32, parcel 185.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to make a motion and then just a quick comment, if I may.
Please.
So a motion to approve with standard conditions. And my comment would be a full faith in the building department to work through the permitting process to address the egress but as I think confirmed, well within our bylaw as far as the size of the apartment, so no concerns whatsoever.
Right. Okay, excellent. So, do I have a second on Mr.
Second.
Maron's motions and concerns? Thank you very much. So, roll call vote. Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote? Approve. Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
I approve.
And I vote to approve, so you're all set, good luck.
Thank you.
You can reach out to Caleb, and he'll guide you through the rest of the permitting process and make sure all your plans are all squared away, so good luck.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we'll let these applicants clear out for a minute. And we are at, time-wise, pretty good. Okay, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, do we need a motion to close the hearing?
That's what I was working towards. I was letting them walk away.
Apologies. Oh, very good, very
No,
good.
and I appreciate the reminders, I
Well,
genuinely
Mr.
do. So,
Mr. Chacolo was keeping me honest.
so do I have a motion to close the 6:10 hearing?
Motion to close the hearing.
Thank
I'll
you very
second.
much. Second,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
Mr.
Through the chair,
Vice Chair,
we already took that vote.
no, we voted to approve.
Voted both.
We closed the public portion of the hearing.
You're good.
Okay, all right.
We
That
did
sounds
dou-
good.
We
I'll
did
take that.
double duty then.
Anytime we can skip past some red tape, I'm more than happy to do that.
Thanks for keeping us
So with that
honest.
being said, we're going to move on to the 6:15. Applicant James Beauregard, requesting a special permit under section 9312-6 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for an in-law apartment on property located at 28 Perry Street, Auburn, Mass, map 25, parcel 63. Do I have a motion to open the hearing?
Mr. Chairman, make a motion to open the hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Roll call vote. Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote? Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
Approve.
And I vote to approve. The hearing is now open. You can see the applicants are seated to my left, so I'm going to yield the floor. Mr. and Mrs. Beauregard, I presume? If you just want to go ahead over and explain everything, and I'll have the board,
Mr. Chairman, if I might,
you might.
in the interest of full disclosure, the petitioner does work for the town of Auburn. I also have a seasonal part-time job with the town of Auburn. There is, with the petitioner's petition, there is no financial interest whatsoever between Mr. Beauregard and myself.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I see no reason why the hearing can't move forward as it is. There is no financial interest. It's a part-time position. And so thank you very much for disclosing that. I appreciate it. Okay, so please, Mr. Beauregard, go ahead.
Good evening. James Beauregard, 28 Perry Street. My wife Donna. We're looking for a special permit for an addition that's already on our house. It's been there for 18 years. We went to refinance, and this is what they told us we had to do. They seem to think that it's an in-law, but it's been an addition for 18 years.
Okay.
So this is why we're here.
All right, we can move on that one. So I'm just going to go ahead then. We don't have anybody else sitting, but do we have anybody that's called in? Any abutters that might be interested in making comments on this hearing? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. Mr. Maron, I yield the floor to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for being here. Before I ask a direct question, if I might bring Caleb forward for a quick question. So this applicant came forward under 93126 for an accessory apartment, correct?
Through the chair, 93126 is a section of the bylaw that allows the permitting of existing apartments that predate the accessory apartment bylaw.
Okay.
This apartment was built prior to the accessory apartment bylaw, so it was permitted, it was inspected. I had no issues with everything.
Thank you for that, very much. And so the only question I have for thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
The only question I have for the applicant, if I may, is as far as means of egress, I did have an opportunity to view the property, and I must say, after I did, selfishly, I ran home and started picking up my own leave. It is one of the finest kept properties in town, and you're to be complimented.
Thank you.
for that. It's an absolutely beautiful piece of property. But not to be cheeky aside, the means of egress, there is a side set of stairs that goes up
Yes.
to the apartment on the right side.
Is
And is there a second means of egress to the apartment?
Yes. down through the garage area, and actually there's a third that goes from the addition into the main house.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't have any further questions.
Thank you. Mr. Chacolo?
I have no questions for the applicant.
Thank you. Mr. Cussy?
No question.
Ms. Roach?
I have no questions.
Thank you. Mr. Jones? No, he's still here. Mr. Jones, do you have any questions of the applicant?
None, thanks.
Thank you. Ms. Bush?
I have no questions.
Great, and I don't either. I understand this is really more or less for you to have an approval for your financial institution.
Right.
It really doesn't apply to the town. Again, just for the folks at home that might be paying attention to this meeting, this is really an administrative paperwork situation for the homeowner. And it was, the addition was built prior to the approval of the updated bylaw, so really this does not affect or have any impact on the town whatsoever. So with that being said, do I have a motion to close the public portion of the hearing?
I'll make a motion to close it, Chairman.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Chacolo, excuse me, Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote? Approve. Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
I approve.
And I vote to approve, so you're all set.
All right.
can
Thank
just
you very
Contact
much.
Caleb, and he'll get you the rest of the paperwork you need.
I apologize.
That was to close the hearing.
But we would actually need to vote on the hearing before we dismiss it.
Oh, I apologize, you're right. I'm getting ahead of myself. We've been moving quite a bit.
I am also optimistic that they'll be approved.
Yeah, so, again, I apologize. So do I have a motion, do we have a motion on the 6:15 PM applicant, James Beauregard, requesting a special permit under section 9312-6 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for an in-law apartment on property located at 28 Perry Street, Auburn, Mass., map 25, parcel 63.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve with standard conditions.
There we are, thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, okay. Now we'll get to the meat and potatoes here. Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote? Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
I actually have one question to share, and maybe Caleb can comment on this.
Okay.
I do approve, but just as a matter of clarification, especially for the applicant, my understanding is that this special permit will apply to them and them only, and when they do, in fact, whenever that is, go to the house, that permit does not transfer to the next owner, and I just want to be sure that they are aware of that. And if I'm wrong, Caleb, I'm happy to be corrected. But I just want to make sure that even though the town and allows, that does not before they transfer the property to someone else.
Through the chair, that is correct. All the special permits for
That's
existing
right.
apartments are specific to the owner. And when they sell the property, the new owner just has to come before the board.
Right. Yeah, Ms. Roach, I'm sure you probably heard that, but yes, that is the standard of all special permits relating to them being assigned to the property. It's actually for the current ownership, and they do expire if the property changes hands.
Yes, I find in my day job, most applicants and homeowners, there is very much an unawareness of that, and wanted to make sure that they are aware. I will be quiet now, and yes, I do approve the motion.
No, that's great. No, I do appreciate that. Again, this is what we have these, what I consider our duty experts on the board. They keep me in line to make sure I'm running the meeting right. You bring out things that are necessary to make sure that the applicant is fully aware, and I appreciate all those things. It really helps everybody out, so thank you. Okay, so with that being said, the motion is now actually officially approved. And you can contact Caleb, so good luck.
I
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
You too.
Motion to close the hearing?
Yes, so do we have a motion to close the hearing?
Motion to close the hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote? Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
Approve.
And I vote to approve, so all of our public portions of the hearings here have all been closed. We do not actually have any minutes to approve this month. Our next meeting is December 16th, 2021, at 6 PM. Per the governor's orders, we will remain as a hybrid meeting, so people can actually either attend in town hall, or they can also call in, as we have been for the length of the COVID situation. With that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Maron, how do you vote?
I approve.
Mr. Chacolo, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Cussy, how do you vote? Approve. Ms. Roach, how do you vote?
Approve.
Mr. Jones, how do you vote? Thank you. Ms. Bush, how do you vote?
Approve.
Thank you very much. Okay, and I vote to approve. The meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you very much. We will see you all in December.